Licht. Okay, it's a little bit better. Okay. Hello and welcome back. So, I am here. Oh, yeah. All right. So, welcome and thank you for joining. Go ahead and get comfy. Get your mat. And if you can, get on your knees like this. We're going to put one hand behind us here and reach the other arm far back over the shoulder. Then with the other side, you're going to notice the rotation in the lower back. Go ahead and put both of your hands behind you. And from this position, lift your hips up and lower yourself. Feel free to squeeze your butt in this raised position and have your shoulders turned back. I suppose it would be good to warm up before doing this. So in order to get into that position that I just showed you, let's start by twisting our arms. This helps when in this position. See, my shoulders are, or my arms are rotated back, my chest is automatically open and raised up. And so, let's go ahead. Palms up, palms down. The longer you do this, the more you'll notice your shoulders, your neck, and your arms. If you have your hands spread out wide like this, you might notice the nerves. So what I noticed by this, it's basically if you are non-flexible in the legs and you feel that, let's just call it that uncomfortable pain. If you feel that in your legs when you're not flexible, you're likely to feel it here as well when you have your hands flat and away, because when was the last time you stretched your arms for flexibility? When I noticed this in myself, I'm like, damn, okay, I want to work on that. And so, another great thing you can do is palms flat out and then twist your arms. This is a really great exercise for toning of your arms and shoulders, and you don't even need weights. And the more you work back here, past your shoulders, the more mobility work we've got in our shoulder. Whew. I'm not sure if you can see this on camera. It's wet, that's me. Arms, nice. Back here, you can go ahead and raise up above and just stretch from side to side. I like from this position to pull my arm behind. That allows a nice stretch from the arm to this entire side of the body, and then to the other. I'll show you from this side and back. Here. This is going to pull all the way down. And here. Another thing I like to do is bring my arms back as far as I can. I like working on my mobility, because I think it's really cool working on my arms. I never did this before until I thought, hey, you know what? My arms, I would like to be able to move them like wings. And like wings to, hang on, to be able to move them back here effortlessly. That'd be cool. And the cool thing about
strength exercises or the body getting stronger is the stronger you are, the lighter and easier everything feels. So in order to make something like this look effortless and feel easy, all I gotta do is work on my mobility, flexibility, and get stronger. Hang on. Well, let's just go ahead and check that out. Wow.
So, I don't know if you've ever had a dream where you flew. Like, I like flying in my dreams. However, whenever, at least historically, whenever I was gearing up to fly in my dreams, it'd be like, oh yeah, I'm about to do this. This is gonna be so cool. And then I expect wings or something. Then it's just me flapping my arms. I'm like, this is nowhere near as cool as I thought it would be. What? It, however, got me to realize that wings, at least, yeah, wings, whether it's on a bird or another animal, is basically another, what is it? Appendage? I want to know if I'm using the right word. The same as a limb, the same as an arm, the same as a leg. Having wings, at least like birds here, would simply be another limb. You'd be flapping with your arms anyways. So, might as well practice. And another great thing you can do, I know I'm just twisting and turning, is a slight diagonal here, from forwards, back. Of course, all of these exercises that we're doing, you can do in standing, whatever you like. I just happen to be on the mat right now. Stretch. This is nice.
I love doing stretches from this straddled position because it just gets a little bit deeper than if you're like this. Of course, pretty much every exercise is valid and good. The angle changes everything, and I just noticed that I get to do a little bit more of this deep stretch that I like, and it just gets further. I think it's so cool. Look, another great thing about recording oneself is that I can see my progress. Like, oh, I can also feel it, but like, I can get like, so, check this out. What? A way that I like to do push-ups, non-traditional push-ups, are from this position as well. If you're a woman, go ahead and turn your hands slightly out. And bring your hands or your arms closer to the body. I'll show you a little bit closer at first. Okay, what I mean is we want to have this portion of the upper arm basically bracing your rib cage. So from the side that looks like this, here, tight on the rib cage, so that we're going to be pretty much leaning on the upper arm. So upper arm close to the rib cage. Hands slightly turned out, right, I'd say a diagonal away from the shoulder. So from the side, it would look like this, and then lower. From here, push into the palm in this diagonal backwards. Push, push. This strengthens the same muscle groups as a traditional push-up, except it's a whole lot easier. And I like to start with the easiest version of an exercise, get the muscle strong enough, and then move on to the next. So, from here, just push back and up. And up. And you can also play around with the balance. I now just decided to shift my weight a little bit forward. And now, my arms need to do a little bit more. Here. This is something you can do while on your knees as well. And skip. Rather than on the knees, let's just make it a little bit more comfortable. Go ahead and lay on the ground. We want to have our hands close to the body and push up. This is the baby cobra, I believe. This is a nice stretch for your lower back. And I think here I would like to have the hands a little bit further away from the body. If you like, you can move left and right. What was it? Right. You can also do a little bit of strength training. If you happen to have, or your wrists aren't really playing around or aren't liking these exercises, you can go ahead and get on your elbows. Here I would say go ahead and get on your knees. Just push forwards and backwards. Check it out. We are getting stronger and we are saving our joints some pressure. You can go ahead and move into a stretch. In forwards, hold. And now, if anyone ever gives you shit and saying, that's not a real push-up, let them talk, honestly though. Because like here, you are still strengthening your arms. In this position, you are basically in a plank. Here you have your stretch and moving forwards. And most importantly, you're moving. You're doing something for yourself. So honestly, I think any word that should come from yourself and from another person is like, congratulations. Well, that was smooth, real smooth. Well, oh, this is good. This feels good. Let's go ahead and get into sitting position. I like to lift my butt cheeks so that I'm sitting on my sit bones, you know, the ass bones, the ones that like right here. It just feels a bit nicer. We can go ahead and put our right hand on the outside of our left thigh, left hand here behind us, and twist. Try to keep both your butt cheeks on the ground. Go ahead and bring your feet closer to you. I have the outside of my foot laying on the ground and my pelvis tilted forwards so that I have a greater opening here in my pelvis. So I'll show you what I mean with my pelvis tilted forwards from the normal standing position, boom, like this. So I'm basically resting on the middle to top portion of my buttocks. Your feet as close to you as is comfortable. If that means they're further away, that's perfectly fine. If they're closer, great. Just do whatever you can for now. Your hands, just like we did in the push-up, slightly outwards. This opens up the muscles in your chest, gets your shoulders, necks, and back. And as we practiced earlier here with the twist and rotation, our body is now better prepared for this movement than it was in the beginning. So, from here,
raise your chest. Here I've got the hollow in my back, that means my pelvis is tilted. Hang on. Like this. As opposed to this. Here, here, here. Here, this is what we're going to be doing between exercises. Either we're going to be resting in this position or sitting in this one. And so, here, hands twisted outwards, chest raised, and here we've got that hollow in the back, and then rolling backwards with the pelvis tilted forwards. We're going to go ahead and switch between the two. Let's go ahead and have the feet a little bit further apart and drop the hip. Let's lean more to one side and then the other. That means one buttock raises from the ground. And what we can do is we can interchangeably squeeze the buttocks. That means left, right, and just rock from side to side. A little bit of a practice work. A little bit of forwards, backwards. And then, all right, from here on, we can put our feet on the outside of the mat. And drop one towards the center, one at a time. This gets a little bit of a rotation of the leg and the hip. And here again, you can focus on having your shoulders rolled back and leaning slightly backwards. And we're going to get a nice stretch in the lower back as well. Let's have both legs down to one side. That means, for example, my right leg, this one here, I've got my hip, my knee, and my ankle in 190-degree angle. The same with my left leg, just off. My feet are on the same line. So here, 90 degrees, feet in one line. Both hands back, shoulders parallel. So we've already got this nice twist in our upper body. And then we can go ahead and raise our right hip up and down. You can adjust your hands however you need it. And now we'll take the right hand and push forwards. I'll show you where. So here, we have the back of our pelvis, here are hip bones, or where we would have tramp stamp, if that tells you anything. This bone right here, to the right. Get in position. Push down and up. Let's see if I can show you from here. Here and up. Just to help adjust and twist. If it helps, you can try grabbing the inner buttock and then the other side. Show you here. This. get back on our elbows and lay on our lower back so that it's nice and flat. Raise both of your, we can have our arms outwards. Try to have your knees right above your hips, and then move left and right. Try to hold just above the ground, and then use your ab muscles to steer your legs back up. So hold, and then tummy to go back over the middle to the other side. I try to have my hips above the other as best I can. And we'll do one more after this. You can go ahead and lay down on your back. I like having my arms out to the side and my hands underneath my head, and then just pull my foot towards me. So not just the toes, but the whole foot. This, I like to call toes flex. I know it's a little bit misleading because of the toes, but it allows the muscles in the front and in the back of your leg to be nice and engaged. And so you get a little bit more bang for your buck in exercises. Also, it's a great way to engage your muscles of the leg in a nice stretch. Okay. Lower your legs just a few degrees and bring them back over your hips. A little bit front and then back to your hips. Let's say about 20 degrees. I'll show you from this side. So, like this. And back up. This. And back up. And then I'd like for you to go ahead and guess what we're turning. What do you notice? And is your back flat on the ground? That's something I would like to know as well. The more you, so right now my feet are above my hips. The closer I am, the more of a stretch it is in the back of the leg, and the more my stomach needs to engage. Here, my lower abdomen is working. Here we've got a tiny bit of a rest, and then again, we've got that nice stretch in the legs, especially if you pull your feet towards you. And hold. You can try lowering your legs a little bit more. And let's just do 2 more. Hold, slowly, and just 1 more. Which, you know, this is already comfortable. Let's just stay here. Go ahead and get on your side. We have the hips lined up above each other. I have my head rested on my hand. Elbow, all in one nice line. So elbow, ribs, hips, knees. Knees are slightly in front of the hips. A straight line would look like this. slightly in front allows me a little bit better of a hold. And what we'll do now is raise this leg, toes flex. That means, right, we pull our toes towards us. And first, raise our leg so that our foot is facing straight forward. I'm counting to 10, so we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do the other side before moving to the next exercise. And again, a nice line from elbow, shoulder, hips. You can see with your hand placement what works best for you. Since I'm looking back at the camera, just to make sure, you know, I have my hand up here. Otherwise, you can also have it in front. Just try what works for you. And then extend your leg, toes flex, and we want to have our leg when we lower the foot pointing to the wall. You know what? I'm going to have my hand up here. Just 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fabulous. Since we're already on this side, we can, let's switch. So same position as we did a moment ago. Now I have my hand back here. And I'm going to be raising so the leg on the ground can go ahead and be bent. We're going to have, in my case, this is my right leg raised. I'm going to raise my, okay, so for this position, since we're going to be moving, I'll show you. We're going to be moving the leg forwards and backwards. It's going to be a lot of rocking. I would suggest, just like earlier, leaning on your arms or on your elbow. We'll see what works best. Yeah, my elbow right now. So I have my toes flexed, so pull towards me, raising my leg in front, and then I bring my arm forwards, and then bring my leg back as far as I can, leg parallel to the ground. This is a really good, nice stretch in the back. You're going to notice your glutes, and then a nice swing forwards. So that was 1. And the last 5, I like to count down. So 5, 4, 3 here. Give your booty a nice squeeze. 2, 1. Let's switch sides. Ooh, some water would be good. Okay, other side. on the ground can be bent. We want to have our hips above each other. Get your arms in position so that we're going to be moving. Legs, toes flexed, thumbs right. Pull them towards you. Not just the toes, but the full foot. And then forwards and backwards. And I'd like for you to see what muscles are you feeling? Where in your body are you noticing? What's being engaged? What's being strengthened? What's being stretched? Okay, now I'm counting down from 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Wonderful. Now, it took a moment, but let's go ahead and get into the very first exercise, the very first move I showed you. That is here, straddle. Adjust what needs adjusting. I am getting a cramp. It can happen. If you do get a cramp, just go ahead and press your thumb into it a couple of times. Push into the muscle until it releases. And then, hang on. Another thing you can do if you do notice that your legs need a little bit of a break, go ahead and extend one leg at a time. I have my toes underneath my foot and I'm pushing backwards. Okay, so straddle, that means get into the frog position. You know, we could just start with this first. Okay, so we have our knees far apart and our upper body in front, and then let's do a few more of these push-ups that we had in the beginning. This is just gonna allow us to get these hips open again, prepare for what's next. If you really want to play with balance, you can go ahead and let your feet raise. So then we are just on the 4 points of our hands and our knees. Check it out. Push up and down. And this is, well, this is a nice way to strengthen the muscles that you, well, in your arms, but the ones that are required for a regular push-up, but honestly, just do what you like most. This is a real nice deep stretch for your hips. And honestly, this is pretty much the only way the way I like doing push-ups, because you know, the whole traditional, we do it this way. Okay, hang on. Ta-da! See, that was my best attempt at a push-up. I kind of got it. And if I were to be like, damn, that was rough, I guess I can't do push-ups, then I'd be missing out. However, if I'm like, okay, well, I know the benefits of a push-up, I would still like to get my arms nice and strong. What other options do I have? Boom. And then go ahead and notice which muscles you feel. We've got our tricep, we've got our bicep, we've got the arms and the muscles in our underarm. Huh? Huh?
It works. It works. Fabulous. Okay, so now we can go ahead, rock forwards and back. God, I love moving my body. It honestly feels so good. And now, go ahead and sit back on your feet.
Rotate your arms again. And let's put our hands behind us. Oh, I think I might scooch a little bit closer. All right, here. Hands behind. We got our arms rotated out and back, chest raised. And here, we can go ahead and lift and lower.
I kind of noticed my feet are like getting this close to cramping. If you do notice anything, go ahead and take a break. Take a break. You don't got to go through it if you don't want to.
And we can just keep it small. Just squeeze your butt and tilt your pelvis forwards. I think my feet cramping up
Is a good sign of like, hey dude, we haven't really done this much.
Let's go ahead
And give it a pause. And again, here I'm now using my palm to put pressure to just tell my body, hey, yeah, dude, I get it. I got the signal. Thank you. And then it goes away. Pain is typically just a little signal. It's like, something's up here. And as soon as you put some pressure or give your attention to wherever it is, typically, depending on what you've got going on, it goes away pretty quick. And so, back to it. So, in our straddle, one hand back, the other reaching up and over. Let's just go ahead and do a straight line backwards first. Ooh, yeah, we can go ahead and let our head follow. And if you like, you can go ahead and raise yourself a little bit further up.
This is a really nice stretch leading here into the in English groin. Yeah. Reach far back. Yeah, you'll notice it all the way in here. Let's just do one more per side. Have your butt engaged as well, squeeze. And rest.
Okay, fine. We'll have some water. The position I'm in right now reminds me of something that I, played around with the other, like a week or two ago at home. I have plenty of nights where I'm just in my living room on my mat and I have my phone out and recording and just trying stuff out so that I can later show you what we got going on. I wanna see, can I remember exactly how I got into it? Huh? Yeah, close. Okay, let's see.
Yep, that's it. All right, so I don't know how beginner friendly this is. This is something that you can do pretty well if you have been following along easily enough with your hips like this. That's one thing. And if you are able to bend your knee fairly closely, which is something that is practiced in moves like this, right? So if you practice this move, and if you practice this move, having your legs like this is gonna be a bit easier. So from, let's say, this position, we are basically putting the legs together and then putting this one back so that, let's see if I can show you by a camera. My knees are pretty much in one line. My foot here is right in front of my pelvis, and the right is basically a line here. I'm going to show you from the side. So we have, these knees are in one line, my foot here in front, my foot here back. And then we're going to be going up onto this leg, meaning up and back down. If you need help, go ahead and use your hands. I'm going to see if I can adjust this so that it's easier to see on camera. Okay, like this. Go ahead and rock in if that helps. Otherwise, go ahead and sit up. I suggest tilting your pelvis forwards. Let's see if I can show you this. Hold, lower it down, back up, and hold. This is a deep stretch right here. Okay, let's then switch sides. How are we going to get back into this? Well, we can have both legs forwards, bring them to the side, and then the left back. Both knees are in one line. If we were to draw it here, this knee, or this foot is right in front of me. My right leg, I notice, is not, or doesn't bend as easily as the left one, which is totally fine. That means my foot's a little bit further away from my pelvis than the other, whatever is comfortable. Okay, and then just make your adjustments. Wait. Yep, that's not fun. So, if you're wondering what I'm doing, you may have got a cramp. And what? This is something I like to, an example I like to give in my classes. So, I am pounding on my muscle to work through this cramp. The visual I like to give is a meat deli, right? You want your steak, you want it nice and tender. What do? They pull out the hammer and bat the meat. Same thing with your muscles. Just go ahead and give it a nice pound. Let that work through, and boom, it's gone. It is gone. Maybe a little shake, a rub, a little, we're good. Cramps aren't something to be afraid of if you know how to work through them. Okay, let's give it another go. How was it, right? I'll see if I can show here. Got my pelvis tilted forwards, up, and down. I got both my feet together, and I'm reaching back. I've kind of got it as a goal. I want to be able to do back bend. And, well,
Weird. Oh, this might be a good start. What else? What can we do? Ooh. We could do a table. I don't know how much of a back bend this is, but what can we do? What can we do? Okay, we're just trying something out. How about you get on your back? You have knees upright, legs are hip width apart. We have our hands here, hands here. Oh, the light went out. Oh well, you know what I look like, and I think you can see me well enough. So, here, and then we're gonna go up into the bridge. We'll practice this first because, well, my hands aren't, or my arms aren't really typically spending much time in this position, sitting on. How would I like to, does it matter? Okay, anyways, so we'll just give our hands, our arms a little bit of time to get used to this while we go ahead and get up into the bridge. That means we have our heels fairly close to our butt. We are squeezing our buttocks, tilting our pelvis forward so that we have a nice line from our knee to our hips to our shoulders. This is also adding some pressure on the back of the neck so that it can get used to this feeling. And now, up onto your head, lower back onto your shoulders, and slowly lower your hips back to the ground. I gotta adjust my ponytail. Okay, so here we have our hands. What did I do? I raised my hips and then shifted my shoulders up, and now I'm resting my weight on my head using my hands here as a support. And this, my friends, is the very first time I'm doing this. So rolling my head back down, shoulders low to the ground, and then slowly lowering my hips to the ground, vertebrae for vertebrae. We can play around with our hands like this, just getting them used to this position. What are we doing here? Huh? My body isn't used to this. But let's go ahead and try it again. All right, so from here, adjust. Go ahead and lift your buttocks into the bridge. Roll onto your head, your shoulders lift, and then boom. From here, do we want to try? Holy shit! Woo! Slowly lower and celebrate! What was that? How cool! Oh, hang on. Ooh, this is a good stretch too. Hang on, let's just show you this. So this is the same 90-90 that we did earlier. I'll see if I can try like this. Okay, we have hips, knee, foot, same thing other side. Lay down and then just scrub. This is a really great stretch for your thigh. Yeah. And then we're gonna get back into that. What? Did I just do a back bend? And did we just do a back bend? Let's see. One more time, other side, and scrub. Oh yeah, this is a really nice and fairly intense stretch for your upper thigh right here. 90-90, and then just lean back and stretch. Okay, let's go ahead and try this again. So we've got our feet fairly close to the butt, hips, or knees are hips width apart. Get our hands into position. Raise your hips, raise your butt, squeeze, roll back onto the top of your head, and once you're ready, push upwards. Oh my God, check it out. Slowly lower, head to the ground, roll onto your shoulders, and then vertebrae for vertebrae, so that your hips are back onto the ground. How cool is that? So I could definitely feel that my body isn't used to that. I guess that's a little bit of, could use some practice. And that's okay, that's cool. I got to try something new today. And if you join me, we got to try something new today. I'll show you what I'm doing right now. Hang on. Okay,
So, what was I doing? Gotta go ahead and find it again. So, from this position, on your back, knees up, hips width apart, I was on my side. So here we have hips right over each other, and then one arm is behind me, one arm is in front of me, and kind of like this running away vibe. And then I'm just bringing this bent leg forwards so that the hip is more aligned on top of the other. You can go ahead and use this hand if you like, and put it into the small of your back, pushing your hip forwards to help. You can either keep your leg bent or extend for a nice stretch. And then I'll do the other side one more time. Here we are on our side, legs above, one arm in front, one arm back, and facing towards the ground. Here, hips are aligned above each other in either a bent leg. See how I'm just basically pushing my hip forwards, my leg parallel to the ground. I can either extend my leg or keep it bent. And then also use this hand to push. You can put it on your, like a little bit above your butt cheek, right where that bone is, and help push up. And slowly release. Go ahead and get back into this position. That's with your butt completely on the ground. You can extend your arms above you, and I like to tilt my pelvis forwards minimally so that the whole back is flat on the ground, and just reach above the head. I would say in this position, I've got my butt lifted a teeny tiny bit so that the tailbone is not on the ground. My lower back is flat on the ground. It's just the very tip of the spine, or end of the spine, that is slightly raised. And then if I raise my head slightly, I notice how the portion of my spine between my rib cage is now being pressed into the ground. I'm putting a really nice pressure onto the rib cage that, well, isn't quite possible in standing, because we are now close to the ground and able to put a certain pressure. And honestly, at least in my body, it feels pretty good. I've got my arms grounded and I am trying it out in different angles. What feels good to me? My head, just like my tailbone, is very, very minimally hovering above the ground. And so I can feel almost all of my entire spinal column on the ground in a really nice stretch. I've got my chin towards my chest, which is then allowing all the muscles and the fascia around the spinal column a really nice stretch. And relax. I'm gonna do this. I'm basically just, it's kind of a crunch. I'm just lifting my shoulders from the ground and getting a little bit more movement into my upper back as a adjustment. Okay. Whew. Did a number on my hair. All right, and I would say that's enough for today. Thank you so much for joining. I had a lot of fun. Honestly, recently I had, I don't know if I would call it a block, but I've been in this room several times with my camera and my light set up, and every time I tried, I couldn't find that motivation. And well, I've got it now. Do I share this? You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Last night I did something that is, honestly, it's good for me. I handed in my resignation for my work as a rehabilitation trainer, a job that I've been doing for 3 years now, something that I've absolutely loved and enjoyed. I noticed I would come to the point of an overwhelm and frustration again and again and again, because a lot of what I was teaching, well, you gotta really want to change and get better. You gotta really want to learn, and I wasn't seeing that in my classes. And although I always showed up with as much as I could, it was very, very discouraging a lot. And what I got to realize with time is that I would really like to, I want to do more. There is a certain limit to what you can do with a group of people that has completely different limitations and pain points. And I want to personally expand on what I'm able to do and share with exercises like we just did today. And well, I figured I'd like to focus my energy more here and share with you and see where this goes. Yeah. And although I love them dearly, they're all good people, and my greatest wish is simply that everyone feels good in their own body, and preferably pain-free. It does take effort, especially if you're someone that has basically a lifetime of neglect, which led to certain issues later on in life. Honestly, something I would like to do is to teach you how to prevent damage to your body later on, simply by switching it up and doing a few really cool exercises for yourself now. And I also want to show you that moving your body can be so much fun. Exercise doesn't have to always be just showing up to the gym and lifting weights and doing that for 2 hours every day, a couple times a week. It can be stuff like this. Yes, this is strength training. Yes, there's a lot of mobility, flexibility, and balance to it. But the stuff that we did today, this is my preference. I think it's fun. I could do it all day, and I could show it all day. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. And I handed in my resignation last night because I felt I've been putting so much of my effort, my energy into, well, the wrong channel, into the people that weren't receiving. And when I did try to pull out my camera and do this with you, I just couldn't. I couldn't. And now it flows, it works. And I'm really excited to see how this progresses and develops. I want to share with you what I know, what I learned, and what I'm continuing to learn, because it's so much fun. Honestly, I love it. And if I could inspire you or show you at least a few exercises that you like, where you're like, hey, okay, I can do this, that's all I want. Honestly, I want for you to enjoy moving your body, because the more you do, the more you give yourself, the more exercise, the more movement, the more you try out, the more curiosity, the more your body gives back. Honestly, your body is your best friend. It is constantly doing the absolute most for you. With everything that we've got going on, with the pollution, with microplastic, with the toxins, with the perfumes, with the this and that, your body is constantly, every single day, every single second, doing its absolute best to keep you healthy. And it is honestly, it's our privilege to take good care of our body. And the more you do for you, the more it does for you. And our body is just so grateful. And if you happen to be someone that has yet to experience that, give it time. Really, start small, start slow, but keep going. The efforts that you do, whatever it is, whether it's for your body, whether it's learning anything that you do, your efforts are always worth it. Your efforts always compound. And yes, there is a period of time where it does take a little bit of learning and practice. And the more you do, the more you'll be able to do further on. The cool thing about moving your body, a lot of the exercises we're doing, they're going to carry over into many other cool movements that I'm going to be showing you with time. And so, please do go ahead, follow along, and I wish you a fabulous time. Yeah. Bye.